Alrighty, so we've had a lot happen over the last few weeks, and I kind of feel that not much worse will happen than the FTX collapse. But one thing we need to brace ourselves for is Bitcoin stopped in a random area, and now we have this signal that's just popped up, and this is the stock market losing trend, which is not a good thing. Now, the crypto market hasn't been following the stock market to the upside, but recently, on any downside in the stock market, the crypto market still reacts. Now, we've been wondering, why did Bitcoin stop 15,500 if the next support or the next major area is between the $11,000 and $14,000 area? And what could give us the reason to actually bring max pain? Now, we didn't have a massive capitulation. We did have a really big drop in that time. But ultimately, we're looking at where we're going to get to the next major areas. And if the stock market had to finally lose trend, that could possibly bring in the fear and get that reaction. Now, we do have the stock market breaking trend. Then what we have, secondly, is we've got a signal of the Dixie breaking short-term trend to the upside. Now, the Dixie did break a long-term trend to the downside over the last few days, but it has not retested the level. And basically what it's showing now is the Dixie RSIs are oversold. And now we're looking at a push up in Dixie, and it can be up to 3% to the upside. And that's meaning about a 5%, if not slightly more, for the stock market. Now, what will that do for crypto? Because we still have the altcoins sitting on its last line of support. And after that, the next support is 42% away. Guys, we're at a very critical level in the market. So let's go through where we're looking. And in this episode, I'm going to be focusing on altcoins and where we are setting our limit orders for this drop to make sure that if it happens, we are not sleeping on the gun and we make sure we get those orders. But right now, it is showing that the last leg has possibly begun. So speaking about beginning, how about we start the damn show and push the damn button, James? Let's hit it.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, what's happening? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you're part of the family, smash the like button. What's up, what's up, what's up? Comment, guys. How are we feeling today? How are we actually doing out there? First thing, guys, make sure you are following me on Twitter. We have these big things, Twitter Spaces. Tomorrow we're launching a really big one, guys. And it's happening around 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. our time tomorrow, where we're going to have tons of guests. Get yourself on Twitter and get into the Twitter Spaces. You're getting tons of different alpha. And I love that it's actually bringing a lot of the big guys together. And ultimately, we're forming some really big communities on Twitter at the moment. So make sure you follow me, Sheldon_Sniper. On Twitter, make sure you're following all of the social media handles, which you'll find below in this video. And remember, guys, if you are trading and you are looking to open up any accounts, remember to sign up with any of our links. OKX, guys, OKX. It's something that I'm putting a lot of effort into right now, and I'm really enjoying the exchange. So if you want to sign up, use our link. You get sign-up bonuses, and you get discounts on trading fees if you sign up with OKX, Bitget, Bybit, Binance as well. Remember, we do still currently have the 2 trading competitions on their way, and I officially have begun my road to recovery on those. And then what we have is we have a really big Bitget competition, and it's basically for the Worldcup. And the way this is working is we're going to be forming different teams. Now, you can form, I think it's a Rand team, a Kyle team, a Sheldon team, but ultimately we're fighting for 100 Bitcoin. So if you're a very experienced trader and you want to play for the big prizes, you think you're ready for that big shift, we're definitely playing the World Cup. keep a lookout on my Twitter is where the link will be dropped later on today. 100 Bitcoin, guys, 100 Bitcoin. So if you're a serious trader and you're doing well out there, why not play for a really, really big prize? And it's for the World Cup. Let's enjoy it. So, guys, let's jump in here and let's quickly have a look where we're at. One thing that's very important is if we look at the total market cap, we've basically been trending down slowly as we speak in over the last day or two. And right now, we're still basically sitting in this wedge. Now, we've been looking for a possible little push up at any point for basically exit liquidity, somewhere where we'll get up, last little bit of a chance of exits, and then basically making the next leg down. And as you can see, we're still kind of sitting in the middle. Now, the big concern is the stock market, and that's something we've been tracking, that this thing's been going up over the last few days. Crypto market obviously got destroyed. What happens if the stock market starts to come down now? Is the stock market and the crypto market, are they not running with each other anymore? I think that's the big question to ask, because if the market comes down now and the stock market comes down, let's actually look at the levels of what could happen if this does happen. If we're looking at a possible 3% up in the Dixie, you basically want to still look at this as a bullish leg. We don't want to cancel that it's not a bullish leg. And ultimately, you can be looking at the stock market coming and testing golden zone, normal retracement. But ultimately, that is an 8 to a 9% pullback of the stock market. Now, another thing that's very important is to understand where it would be pulling back. I don't like that we did not get this higher high. We literally came just short. And in this game, it is so critical. That little point of not having that little higher high can mean so much. Ultimately, it can mean a lower low. That's looking at something really bad. But ultimately, that's bringing the stock market down 25%, which would really make sense for Bitcoin to go down to 12 to 10K if that had to happen. I don't think there's any more major catalysts for Bitcoin to just make its way down there without the stock market actually coming down pretty strong. But ultimately, if the stock market does come down a good 10, 20%, I do think that the crypto market will have that final push down. And ultimately, what that does mean is it does mean that the total 3 loses its main support, the area that we don't want to lose because the gap is really big. And right now, we should probably be looking at the area of max pain. Instead of focusing on when this push is going to be, we've been speaking about this little push up and we've been getting little ones. And ultimately, I've been exiting parts of my portfolio in that time. But right now, I'm preparing for the worst. And if we continue preparing for the worst, if anything changes at any point, we will shift. But right now, I'm preparing for the worst. And I'm preparing for up to a 40% collapse within altcoins. And you can see very clearly with the dominance over here, the dominance does agree. It agrees that we have officially made a higher low in this area. Higher time frame RSIs are bottomed out, and ultimately it's showing if this market decides to pull back and we have a big pullback in Bitcoin, we're going to have a spike in the dominance, and that's just sending the altcoins down really, really quickly. Then what we have is we had a double top on the USDT dominance. And ultimately, this was all-time high of USDT, showing that the amount of people getting into USDT dollars, basically, it does show if Bitcoin does lose that low, we're going to have this crack into all high territory. And if we do that, we don't have any more data. This can ultimately run into the 10, 11, 12%. So it's just another bad signal that we're seeing here. We don't know how fast that can accelerate. All we can do now is go look at the levels and we can actually start setting these orders. Now, let's go look quickly at Bitcoin on where we are right now. I did post some charts on Twitter yesterday. Make sure you are on Twitter, guys. We're posting quite a bit of charts. And we basically spoke about a critical level to know that, are we done with this offload zone? We tested it once and the offload zone was around about $18,000 for me to protect some capital. And ultimately, I'm protecting so that I can farm a lot more tokens. And we've been through this a few times now. But what we ended up doing is getting a lower high again, getting rejected at trend. We are there. This is the only thing that would basically invalidate that leg down just yet. Is stock market's last trend now. If it decides to go and test as a sort of retest, and we do have Bitcoin break this little uptrend over here, we could still have that little push to the offload zone. So I'm not doing anything with my portfolio unless we are in the offload zone. And until we get to that zone, I'm preparing for the worst, and I'm preparing to set orders a lot further down. Now, the main area that we're focusing on Bitcoin is the 15,800. That would confirm a lower low. Right now, we're basically forming this bearish flag. And ultimately, what usually happens with these flags is the direction that we enter is usually the direction that we leave. Otherwise, it could be a correction wave. And what that means is we've had a very strong leg down. We correct to the upside, offload, and we have that next leg that takes us down to those two areas. So we basically got two ways that this pattern can play out. It's either this play over here, which I've been waiting for. Hopefully, like I said, it's lucky if we do get that one. But ultimately, this is showing a possibility of drop, test, and basically make our way down to these areas over there. Now, let me just make sure I've shown all that. There we go. So keep this wedge in mind. There might be, guys, if this does break, this will be a nice little, opportunity to, if you do have some short-term portfolios, to make a little bit of cash for the last little push up, but ultimately prep on a way of protecting yourself when we get to that key area, because from there, I do see a strong rejection. The only way that this reverses for me is basically us making our way all the way back to the areas of 21K. If somehow we do that, we'll come back and test the same areas, even if we sold and took some profit over there, then we know we can get back on the confirmation. All the damage, this was FUD. This is the problems with FTX and Sam Bankman and all of that. And ultimately, it's settling now. A little bit of confidence is coming back. But until then, things are looking pretty terrible. So let's actually look at this now and let's go through. Let me spend some time with you guys on altcoins and where we're basically setting our limit orders to get some specials. It's opportunity, guys. If we do have this huge drop, it is definitely opportunity to scoop up whatever you can at those prices. It happens usually very fast, very fearful. Exchanges decide to freeze. A lot of things like to happen at those times. So be prepared for that. What happened yesterday is we started losing this flag on ETH. So you can already see that Bitcoin is sitting in that wedge, holding pretty strong. But look how altcoins are starting to lose it. And if you look at MATIC, we're right at the verge of possibly losing it. We look at a lot of altcoins. Even though Bitcoin is still in the wedge, it kind of gives us a clue that altcoins is maybe leading the direction of where we start to go next. And you can see here very much with ETH, we have now confirmed the shorter time frame lower low. We have one more at 1,180, which will confirm the higher time frame low. And then we're basically preparing for the lower range. So what I've done is I have set some limit orders at $1,080 to $1,090 for ETH. I do think there's more damage than that, but I'm deciding to ladder in case it happens so fast that I'm not able, I think on this next leg down, one of the best strategies to do is to actually have multiple orders going down as a thing. Because if you have one in one area, imagine that you have your limit order sitting here and price comes down, it just misses it. It would suck. So ultimately what I'm doing is I'm taking the very key areas and I'm setting limit orders. And for me, it's showing 1,080 for ETH. This area over here is where I'm setting my first order. My second one's around 750. And my last one is around $820. These are my three orders that I'm setting to the downside. And like I said, I do think it happens really quick. And ultimately what I'm looking at is ETH to come test. We've been there already before. And for me, that happened so quick. A very fast wick came down to that area. And for me, not enough liquidity was filled at that time that price went there. So for me, it comes down to the support area again. And that's where I'm looking to add to my ETH bags. ETH's done well, guys. Even though we've had a very big drop off in Bitcoin, if you look at ETH considering Bitcoin, it's done pretty well. These were the lows. Bitcoin's already lost those lows that we made at that 17.5. ETH is still quite a bit above that, which either means it is going to hold better than Bitcoin on this dump and obviously be one of the ones to recover faster, or it's going to catch up. These are the two things we need to pay attention to. And if you are ETH lover and you're focusing on that, be very focused on the Bitcoin chart, the ETH to Bitcoin. You can see there's a very strong trend. It is looking pretty strong, but keep focused on these charts. As soon as you see these charts start to really make its way down pretty strong against Bitcoin, Ethereum dominance, any of these things, it does mean that possibly ETH will catch up pretty quick to the damage that's already been done on Bitcoin. Let's go through some of these. I've been through these quite a bit, so I'll go through these quickly, and then I'll go through any altcoins you guys want me to. I think we need to start focusing on some gaming. Ultimately looking at what specials and how can we balance our portfolio, with this dump or this next possible push. One that is showing weakness now is MATIC. It is on support right now. It could have a temporary bounce if Bitcoin does decide to go to offload zone. And if that does have to happen, we do have the opportunity of possibly coming back to the dollar, which would be an offload zone for me. But ultimately, it is starting to now catch up. So MATIC's always been one that's been running against the market, running pretty strong against Bitcoin, and right now starting to show some weakness. So for me, what I've done, if I've set my first order at 71 to 72 cents, and the next order that I've set is in the regions of 60 to 65 cents as my next area. So you can see basically I'm looking at either the leg now or later on. I'm looking at a 20% discount on MATIC currently from where we're sitting. I don't think this goes much lower than that. I think MATIC recovers quick. I think we'll be pretty surprised how fast this could come down and how quick it could be back in a dollar once we've done that. Now, guys, on this next leg down, I'm saying this because I think the stock market needs to come down and have a reset. I think the bounce is going to be really big. Now, the big question is obviously which area. We have the 14, we have the 13, we have the 12, we have the 11, the 10. So there is this whole sort of big range. But ultimately, I really do see when that pain does happen at any point, I really see it coming here and literally coming back here in a very short period of time. I do think that we are going to see a buy wall of notes at some points that's going to bring us up pretty quickly. So either way, you're protecting yourself. We might be buying back at the same level of confirmation in a few weeks, yes. But ultimately, if it does come down, it's going to be quite hard to catch. It is going to try to trick the market quite a bit. But I think it's going to be very fast. I think the bounce is going to be really big and really quick. Fast down, fast up, slowly sideways, flush out the rest, possibly go into depression, and then we carry on with our day. So be very aware of that. You have BNB right now, losing trend. So you can see BNB has even been one of the really strong ones over the last week or two. We had the 2 plays. This one did not happen. We did not break the wedge to the upside. And right now we've broken the wedge to the downside. So we can see here very clearly, if I can just adjust this to what's happened now, you're basically looking at that. If there's a little push up, rejection, and from that, I think we're making our way down. Now, BNB has been one that's been extremely powerful throughout these times. And I think we cannot sit here and say we don't want BNB in our account. I think it's very important to have BNB now, considering that the big dog FTX is out and Binance is the king, is definitely the king. And I feel a lot of people are looking for a new home as well. So I think there's a lot of action happening at Binance. And ultimately, the drop does show me I have areas of around 210 as orders. And then I got a cheeky one around 160 in case there is that strong wick to the downside. I definitely think, everyone's expecting 14K. I think they send a wick slightly lower than that just to hit stop losses, to hit orders, possibly get another massive liquidation at any area. So, put some lucky ones, put some ones that you think probably won't happen, but put them there. You never know. You never know how quick it can happen. Then we can look at ones like AVAX. You can see AVAX as well, not breaking the top right now. It might. So if there is, guys, this is something I do want to, if there is a slight break of Bitcoin of that top, there is an opportunity. There is definitely opportunity of some short-term plays. You need to think of this now that we're in a range where investing, you're not going to make money for the next, I'd probably say next year. You're not going to make much money from investing. Maybe you'll make a little bit, yes, but you're not going to make true money of investing. It will be running like a side portfolio of a trading portfolio or something that you'll be trading a lot on the 4-hour, 8-hour, and 12-hour, once or twice a week, just to keep some cash flow coming in, make a trade or two, fill your long-term bags, try buy some more cheap, and ultimately just keep building a portfolio. Now, if this does break, you do have an opportunity of this making its way over there. And then obviously the big sort of move. But what I'm basically meaning by this is you are still looking at a range of, a 15 to 20% range. So be aware of these little breakouts. That leg for me is still coming, but ultimately, if there is a short-term offload zone, I don't know if the market managed to offload what they wanted to the higher levels of Bitcoin. And that's why I've been waiting to see if we go there so I can offload some more personally. And I kind of feel the whole market is feeling the same way. So if there is that leg, could be another little opportunity for you to make some extra dollars. And then obviously I'll brace for yourself for looking at the next sort of opportunity to to farm some more tokens. So AVAX, if there is a break to the bullish side, AVAX is one of my favorite ones. But ultimately, I do have an order of around $11 to the $12 is my first order for AVAX for the down leg. And the next one's around 9 to 10, which is crazy. You got to zoom out and you got to look at where these bad boys have been. If you're getting this at $9 and this was previously a $140 token, guys, we've been speaking about, think about, doesn't matter what losses or anything you've been through, like you want to ultimately build a 20x portfolio in this time. 20x portfolio in this time is what you want to build to make that over the next 3 years. And if you had to look at a lot of these tokens, even where AVAX is right now, to the areas of there, it's a 10x. But ultimately, if you start getting these things, around $8, $9, these sort of zones, you have a pretty good chance of really building a 20x, if not a 30x portfolio, if you balance it right with some altcoins and slightly a little bit of smaller caps. You can build a very powerful portfolio. So, for example, if you came into the markets and you put $10,000 in the last year and it's $1,000 now or $2,000 now, if you build another account of $500 now at these levels, you get back to the area of where your other portfolio has just recovered from the last dump. You have another portfolio that's 10x, 20x above. Like I said very much before, guys, use it as opportunity. Build a new portfolio here. It's also going to make you feel good about yourself because you can have one portfolio that's bleeding, then you can have another one that's making a lot of money. And hopefully that will balance the portfolio to make it slightly worth it, other than just watching an account that's bleeding. So you keep feeding an account that is hurting, open another one and, have that one make you feel better. And, what was the point of you going through a whole bear cycle if you did not capitalize on it? Next one is THETA. It is playing out similar to what we said. For now, there is still an offload zone for me between 95 and $1 if it does go there. But I have orders at 79 cents. I have another order at 70 cents. So THETA is still stronger, one of the stronger alts for me. But there is still a possibility of a 10 to a 20% drop. Some other altcoins are bigger, 40% drop in some of them. But THETA is definitely one of the big ones. For me, I'm not touching Sol until I'm confident. And those for me is still around $8. I've put my orders at $8. Transparency, I got orders at $8. $6 is the area, but $8 for me, I don't want to miss it. So I don't mind paying slightly more. If it does go to those areas, I want to make sure I do get a buy. Very important. ADA is playing out exactly the way we said the other day. I don't think it's going to bleed as much as the rest of the alts. So I have some orders around 30 cents and I have some more around 27. And I'm happy. I'm happy at that price for a token. It still has the same team, still fighting the same wars, but a token that ultimately has been at $3 before. I get that at 27 cents. It's a 12x back to the top for me. And that's sort of how I'm thinking of it. We have NEA protocol. So we spoke about these coins not looking very strong 2 days ago, and they just confirming that. We have NEA really close to making another lower low. And ultimately, my big buy zones at 1.4 and 1.3 is basically my big areas. Now, where has NEA been as well in the past? Crazy, but it has been around $20 before. So going back exactly from where we are now, you're 12x back to all-time high. Same team, same thing, just a different market. If there's money in the market, these things will thrive. Nothing has changed fundamentally with these companies. There's just not a lot of money in the market. But when money's back in the market, these bad boys will get back to where they were, if not break it and get higher than where they were. And if it does repeat anything of the last bull runs, they will basically double from where the previous all-time high was. So always keep that in mind. So NEA, that for me, I know Rand's been aping as a lot. And if it does go to anywhere near $1, he's going crazy. One that's still strong is Chainlink, obviously. One of the big bounce ones for me if the market turns bullish at any point. 5.6 at 5.2 is my Chainlink orders. I'm buying a lot, as much as possible. It's crazy. We saw it break in 2020, yeah? 2020, we saw it break $5. And we're like, whoa, like that was the all-time high. It went to $55 from that in like 2 months, 3 months. I went absolutely crazy in those times. Now we're back. Opportunity or disaster. Keep asking yourself the same thing. As I said, look at Link. For me, it's still accumulating. The fact that it's not breaking lows, the same with Bitcoin, it's showing tremendous strength to the rest of the market. But this has been a $52 token before, to 80x back to the tops. Guys, I'm going to keep fighting on this. Build a damn portfolio here. I don't care if it's 1% of your cash that you had. Like, build a portfolio here. I promise you'll thank me one day. If we look at the areas of Fantom, 16 cents and 11 cents. That's my areas. $3.4 token. That's my areas. Doge, for me, 70 cents. I'm accumulating. Anything less than that is a bonus. But for me, that's really good. I got VET. VET for me around 1.7 cents. I don't think it drops much more than what it did the other day. I think it's one of the strong ones. ThorChain, I think you do have an opportunity of around 98 cents on ThorChain, which is crazy. So right now you can see I'm focusing on where I can build more to my portfolio. Atom, 8.5, 7.3. A lot of these tokens I am prepping. Now, guys, a bullish leg. Tomorrow, we might be breaking trends to the upside and taking some medium-term trades to make some more money. That's all we can do right now is trade the range, make money, and build more long-term portfolios. That's what we got to do consistently, probably for the next 6 months. Trade the market, buy more long-term, trade the market, buy more long-term for the next 6 months. Prep yourself, put your helmets on, and let's do it. Let's because the market is moving at least, which is really good. Now, Gala Games for me is going into crazy territories, and I think if the big dump happens, you do get it around 2.2 to the 2 cent mark, which is crazy. Again, you look at this token on where it's been. If you get it anywhere near 2 cents, this token has been 83 cents. 83 cents Gala Games has been before. I still think this is one of the top gaming tokens. If it does go back there, it's a 30x. It's a 30x. So the way I'm doing this, guys, is I would prep my portfolio around 50% safer assets. USDT, Bitcoin, ETH, I would probably go 30% into majors, and I'll probably look at around 20% accumulating a smaller cap on one part of my portfolio, getting smaller caps, getting some of them. Don't go lots, 2-3 tokens. For me, I've been saying Naka, PBX, Scallop are the ones that I've been accumulating, and they've held pretty well. The only one that's come down a bit is PBX, which I'm buying more of, but Scallop's hold basically where we've been buying it. Naka is still above where we were buying it. So these small caps are doing pretty well considering the market that we're in. But Gala Games, it's another one I'm adding to that list. Definitely. One that the guys have been speaking about is AZERO as well. I think AZERO goes to around 60 to 70 cents. And for me, that's accumulating area. I'm definitely happy with that. Arweave as well. This was such a big sell-off. But Arweave, you're probably going to get around $7-8 again. Accumulate dollar cost in those areas. One that's doing really well is Chiliz, obviously at the Worldcup. Look at this. It's a coin that's going opposite right now. Is this a correction? I think if the market does tank, it is a correction. But if this does make its way past the 618, which is this area over here, the area that it literally just touched and got rejected, if we manage to get past that in this area, this might be a token that breaks, and it breaks these areas. So we'll keep an eye on maybe having a bullish token in a very bearish market, and that might be Chiliz because of the World Cup and everything that's happening in the areas. So guys, what I am going to do now is I'm just going to go through this episode that we're doing. I do have Binance South Africa, and I want to show you guys a main feature that they've dropped. I think everyone's going to Binance. I think everyone's got to have a Binance account. Very important. And then after that, I'll go through some altcoins for the community and whatever altcoins you want me to go through. So guys, one of the main features with Binance that's important. Everyone is very worried about USDT, USDC. Are these stable tokens going to actually make it? And I'm going to be showing the example of ZAR, which is rands, because I am in South Africa. But you can actually buy your crypto. You can basically, if you go to this buy crypto section, you can select the currency that you are in your country, and you're actually able to buy crypto with your fiat. Now, I want to show you what's important about this. If we go into this little area over here, it basically shows you what do you want to buy. You can say continue with rands. I want to be buying. You can then select your bank, and this will work with any country that you're at. If they do have your fiat, you can basically select any bank that you want, and you're able to buy. Now, I want to show you what's very powerful about that too, is you are basically able to trade it to fiat as well. Everyone's so scared of USDT and these sort of things. They don't have as many tokens as the USDT pair. But if you look at over here for South African rands, I can buy and sell my Bitcoin into ZAR. I can do my ETH into ZAR. So a lot of people are scared right now of USDT and all of these sort of stable coins. You can actually go directly into fiat, and you're actually able to buy and sell into fiat, which is probably one of the safest assets right now. So you can look at this with the dollar. You can look at this with a lot of the different fiat currency. Look whatever country you're from. For all the South Africans, this is powerful, guys. We're very scared of USDT, and we're having problems with Luno, and we're having problems with a lot of these exchanges. I think the best way is I've been turning some of my cash, my USDT and stuff, into ZAR, and I've been turning a lot of my money into actual fiat. So at least you know then if the stable coins hit problems or there is something that happens, because we never know what can happen. If USDT had to depeg or something like that had to happen, it would be crazy. So Binance offered this, guys. So it's so important. Go through to the buy crypto section. Go see what.
Show them the other currencies that are there. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, so I'll show you guys over here all the different currencies that you get. Very important, guys. We want to protect ourselves right now. So look what they got. There's tons of them over here. And ultimately, you can start trading some of your tokens into the stable assets, into the actual fiat assets, which can protect you from any problems with stable tokens. So right now, it's so important for you to diversify right now, because the market is going to survive this. It will 100. It's been here before. It will survive it. You just have to go into survival mode and protection mode and diversify mode. Have a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit in ETH, a little bit in USDT, a little bit in USDC, and have fiat. Very powerful. So thank you to Binance for showing us this. I've been using it quite a bit. For any South Africans, there's ZAR, and obviously look if there is fiat to your country, you can go through all these different tokens and basically use that. So let's jump into some tokens, guys. What do you want to see? What do you want to see? What do you want to see? KDA. Let's go through to KDA. Let's go through some tokens for you guys and look at. Majority of them are sort of showing the same thing. KDA, one that's been bleeding quite a bit, but obviously came from a monster run. Look at that. So this token, wow. Crazy, guys, crazy. You know, if it's the same project, same team, and they still accomplish what they want to accomplish, like you're buying things. Guys, if an Audi R8 is 99% off when you go to the Audi store, you're probably going to think it's a scam. But if it's not and you find out that it's real, you're buying that R8, right? It's the same thing, guys. Everything's on. It's Black Friday. It's Black Friday. For the first time, crypto's giving a Black Friday. New opportunities. So this does have a support around 80 cents. Ultimately, it does look at another 60 cents region. For me, if you really believe in the project, I'll be DCAing in this area. It might go another 20% more down, have some more capital if it does, but you're entering at the right phase. You're dollar costing at the right phase. Filecoin. Okay, this is a big one. Filecoin, I've been hearing a lot of, and I do think Filecoin is a really. Let's get that lined up. Let's actually look where it's at. Filecoin has been really good. You can see very clearly. Wow, that was charts from all the way back then. I haven't charted Filecoin in a very long time. You could see. Obviously, it's making its way down pretty strong. So it's definitely showing dollar cost levels. But ultimately, you're going to be looking at the major trends. And you can see that there is basically this trend where we did slightly break. But for me, this isn't accumulating. And all you can do right now is dollar cost on this. It doesn't have much previous data to track at where are the next possible supports. All that you do know is you have a really good project with a really good team that's currently sitting, because this token was $230. $230 is what this token was trading at. And let's see, 98% down. 98%, yeah, dollar cost. There's no question about it. Dollar cost. Render. So render I did speak about, guys. Render for me, 34 cents is my dollar costing zone. 34 cents. So anywhere between 30 and 35 cents is my dollar costing. This is good. Like you're getting these little big pushes here. For me, this is big buy-ups, and it's not buy-ups to make the price go up short time frame. It's buy-ups for the bigger time frame view. I'm still very bullish on Render for the future. And ultimately, this was a token that was sitting at around $6.7 previously before. And for me, this is a 10x gem. So basically, split your portfolio into 5x gems, 10x gems, 20x gems, 50x gems. In your 5x, you have your highest percent of your portfolio. In your 10x, your second highest. Your 20x, your third highest. and basically build your portfolio like that. Start looking at where these tokens have been. Has anything changed fundamentally? Are they in trouble? Have they been lying? Have they been doing a Sam Bankman-Fried? No, it's the same team. It's still great. Okay, cool. And it's 98% on special. You know, start looking at what can 10x, what can 20x, and ultimately follow on. If I want to 20x my account, how many tokens do I need of this token, and where does it need to get for that to happen? And use these previous levels. You don't even have to use all-time highs. You can just use the previous levels. So render for me is a 10x gem. So I'm going to start referring them to like that. If I think it's a 10x or 20x, that's what I'm basically going to be looking at. Your Lambo X, yeah, the Lambo will happen. I'm very glad I didn't. Imagine I did buy a Lambo in the bull market. At least I'll be driving a Lambo now, but I'd be quite pissed off. If I did, I'd rather have the capital. DOT I spoke about, guys. Casper. I don't like Casper, actually. Okay, guys, I'm not buying Casper at all. I will chart it for you, but I'm definitely not. It is pumping. So for me, I'm not touching this right now. I'll wait for it until it's 98% down. GRT. By the way, guys, the guys that have stuck with me for a very long time, we're gonna have the last laugh in this market. I promise you. Let's keep building portfolios here. You'll see how much money we make in the bull market. So the graph, don't be too rushed on this. Dollar costing anywhere in these areas makes sense, but ultimately wait for that trend break and then at adding some more. That's basically what just gives you the level of when you can see a little breakout from the actual token. For now, it's dollar costing areas. DOT, I did speak about DOT. Go back in the. I see someone saying avoiding ICP. I don't know. This is a big guy that came in top 10 and now it's absolutely destroyed. I don't even want to see this chart. I think it's absolutely crazy what this chart's done. Let's look at what's happened to ICP. It is in accumulation phase. That's one thing you can like to see here, and it's probably looking like it's entering depression phase if you had to look at the market cap. It's had the strong push down. Now ultimately what it's doing is the slow ground down to these areas. So it's saying again dollar costing zones. But if you believe in them, you got to remember that this token was an $80 to $90 token. I think it was even higher before. It was up to a $200 token before. So ICP, I would probably say it's a 10x on max. I do still think they're good, but I'd probably say it's a 10x. Yeah, SPF killed it. They definitely did. Moon River for me is a 50x. It's got destroyed, absolutely destroyed. Wrecked, completely wrecked. But for me, it's a 50x in the future. I do think it's a 50x. This token has been $400 before. It's $8 now. So for me, this is it's a higher X. It is. It's a smaller part of your portfolio. But for me, I think this thing 20 to 30X is maybe even a 50X in the future. I really do. I think this is still a great token, and I would be having it. It's all about, guys, portfolio management is probably the most critical part right now. It is. GMX. So GMX has been pumping, right? Anything that's pumping right now, I'll take profits on. It's all like, you know, and I'll be buying the cheap stuff. Look at that in the weekly. Nah. Yeah, I'll take profits. I'll take profits and buy something better. Luna was down. The difference with Luna was it always had the risk of, you know, it could go to zero. If this happened, it goes to zero. You know, a lot of these other tokens are not the same. It doesn't have the same sort of concept as that at all. Focus on tokens that still have good, strong communities. And Near Protocol I went through, guys. Uniswap, let's go through Uni. I definitely think you got to have Uni and building Uni, because I'm pretty sure when this market recovers again, I'm pretty sure DeFi is going to go through the roof after what's just happened. I think they're working really hard on DeFi. I think DeFi is gonna. I think this thing that happened with FTX, I think has been really good for DeFi for the future. I think DeFi is going to be one of the big ones, and it can clear while Uni is doing to the rest of the market. You know, this is the low. Bitcoin is like sitting here right now. You know, you still have Uni looking strong. So Uni would probably still pull back in those areas. But if you do get a $4, you know, $4, dude, that's when it came out. Yeah. Remember when they airdropped us? at IDO. Like you're getting it at IDO. Like that's absolutely insane. $4. That would ultimately be the accumulating stage. And then what you do have is you have a really nice trend as well. So right now, put your orders in low and cheap until the trends break. Then we'll get trend breakouts and confirmed breakouts, and we'll start buying back in. And maybe this was a temporary little dip because the FTX, and we're still going to get that 30K before we do the 10K. We don't know yet. We'll soon see. But right now, put your orders quite low. On a lot of them. So Uni, I'll definitely have. IMX. Did I go through that now? It's Immutable X, huh?
Yeah.
IMX. Let's go through IMX. Dollar cost. There's no data. There's no previous data. It's in extreme. I know a lot of guys are still bullish on Immutable X. They've always spoken really good about it. So I know fundamentally, I think it's really good. Okay, let's just see here on KuCoin. KuCoin, there we go. Let's have a look at this on KuCoin. Send through your coins, guys. I'll spend a bit more time with you guys, no problem. Let's go through let's spend some time as a community. So this before has been $8 token. It's 40 cents now. So ultimately, if it does go to all-time high, it's a 20x token. So it does, expect it. If the Bitcoin, if anything, the market comes down 20%, Immutable X will probably come down 20% as well, which could probably be 30 cents, 32 cents area. But ultimately, this falls under the 20x. So one thing today, guys, take your notebook and write what are my 5x, 10x, 20x, and 50x gems. So you can know how to accumulate and how to build your portfolio. And then you can make a pie chart about the percentages of your portfolio. And the safer ones will be the bigger one. Second safest, like work on that today so that you can realistically be that, yes, you might have to wait 3 years to make a lot of money, but ultimately you can see what can 20x, what can 10x, what can do these sort of things. Immutable X will probably fall under my 20x category. Cardano I spoke about, guys, go through earlier. Aptos, I think, is also an interesting one. Everyone was so hyped about it. And so crypto.com, guys, this is obviously it's a big one. And it's probably, if it had to survive, this is crazy. It's also been a $1 token before. So if we do have to look at, any sort of recovery back to those levels, it might take a very long time. We'll see. They haven't hit like anything bad, really, really bad just yet. But it is basically showing a 10x. Just be aware with all the FUD that's happening. Yeah, liquidity issues and these sort of things. So keep aware, but let's say if it does go to 3 cents, some in those areas, maybe it's worth the scoop, but very small. Not even 0.5% of my portfolio would be in that. Kusama. So Kusama would probably fall under the long-term 20x, I'd probably say, from where it is now. It's been there before. It has been, I think, a $600 token before, and it's $24 right now. So, it falls under the 20x category for me, and it's dollar costing. Dollar costing, definitely in these areas. Link I've been through, guys. ZOL is so cheap. For me, that's a 30x. THETA and ZOL, I think, are 30x's. If you get them properly on this next pool, I think they're big ones. And VET the same. Yeah, this is crazy. This is really, really, really crazy on the levels that we're at. Let's actually see if there is other supports. So it's at some sort of level of support now. So basic dollar costing makes sense here. And then there is the next area, which is basically 40% down from here. So this shows one of the tokens that could possibly hit that 40% drop. We saw the total 3. If we lose that area, 40%, ZOL could be one of them. So, keep some orders 30% down from where we are now. But ultimately, this token goes back anywhere near all-time highs or anywhere near those areas. You're basically looking at a 10x. For me, this is higher. I think it's a lot higher. I think it's a 20, 30x gem for me in the future. Especially if you get it at those levels, then you're definitely looking at a good 20x. Area Axie Infinity, AXS. $7 token, huge spike. How was that random spike? That's got to be like a big guy buy order for the long term or something, right?
There's just no liquidity.
Just no liquidity. No, but that's huge, bro. That's like a boom. That's massive, bro. That's like a candle that goes in one day. All of a sudden, that might be a huge order for the long term. That's 170% candle. 170% candle. That's absolutely insane. But realistically, guys, if you can really get Axie, $4 in those areas, I think it's great. I don't think this one gets to all-time highs. I think they hyped a lot in the time, but I do think it goes back to about $60 to $70 in some time. And that could obviously fall under 10, 15x category. I've been through those. Okay, cool, guys. Any other ones? I'll see if I can get through on the next show. I wanted to spend some time with you guys. Do that today. Notepad, 5x, 10x, 20x, 50x gems. Take your portfolio. Say, okay, 50% is in my 5x, 25% is in my 10x, this much is in my 20x, and basically write, okay, I need this amount of tokens, and this is where I'm exiting. So build a portfolio that you want at 20x, find out where are your TPs. Half of them won't even be back at all-time highs, which is crazy. And do me one favor, stick to your damn plan. Very important. I love you all. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to go shoot school, and I'll see you on the next episode. Much love, Fantom.